Ghana, hello. You were at the gates earlier speaking to the parent of the mom. Now we find you with the Education MEC. Good afternoon to you.
That's correct. We've moved now following that interesting interview that we had with the mother of that pupil expressing her views on this particular incident. However, the Western Cape Education Department was quick to issue out a statement pronouncing its views on this particular incident. Now we'll have on camera the MEC for the Western Cape Education Department to elaborate on their views about this incident that transpired. We do understand, Debbie, that right now the school governing body is engaged in a meeting trying to probe this matter and to find out what the fate of both the teacher and the pupil would be. What are your views and what is going to happen following this incident now?
Yes, obviously when we saw that video clipping, it was extremely concerning for us. This morning, very early, one of our senior officials was at the school to deal with the matter. The governing body very quickly got onto it and agreed to meet because the teacher is a governing body employee, so it is their responsibility. And obviously discipline of learners is also their responsibility. So they've been very proactive and very responsive to this incident. And we're awaiting their decision. I hope to have some idea later today what their decision will be, at least regarding the teacher. And they are busy doing an investigation into the circumstances that led to the event by speaking to a number of the learners also. Because, as you know, there was also a protest this morning in favour of the teacher by some of the learners at the school. So I think it's important for us to get all the facts together before we make any further pronouncements on the matter.
The country seems divided in this matter, some saying they are for the school teacher and some saying they're in support of the learner. And another issue that has also come out is racism. COSAS was out in front of the school premises alleging that this incident was racially motivated, as well as that peaceful protest that was held by the school learners saying that this was not racially motivated. What do you say to claims that this is racially motivated, considering the fact that the teacher was white, the pupil being black, and some people saying that the teacher was trying to allegedly stop the pupil from speaking in her home language?
I think that's why it's important that we get all the facts. People are very quick to jump to conclusions of racism. I haven't heard any reasons as to why COSAS says it was racist. Just because it happens to be a white teacher and a black learner does not necessarily mean it was based on racism. And that's why I'm not going to make further comments until such time as we have all the facts. It's quite clear that the learner was also partly in breach, it appears, of the code of conduct of the school. The teacher's behaviour is unacceptable. No matter how much you are provoked, it's not acceptable to hit a child. There's no question about that. But it does not appear that it was a one-sided event, and I think people should stop trying to mobilize and divide people on the basis of race when they actually haven't got the full story yet.
How is the department dealing with incidents of this nature? This is certainly not the first to obviously spark so much debate around the country on social media as well as on the ground. How are you planning to deal with instances like this from both the teacher's side and as well as the learner's side?
Look, we've got to, it's obviously on an individual basis we have to deal with specific incidents, but I mean, it's quite clear that our teachers need more skills in dealing with ill-disciplined learners so that they don't get to the point of committing corporal punishment or literally, hitting somebody like this. There are different methods available to do that, and in my statement that I did issue today, there are links to some suggestions as to what to do. And I think, when there are clearly problems in a particular school, we can try and bring programs into the school to try and ensure that learners and teachers are given extra skills to try and solve their disputes and differences without getting to this point.
Like you said, the teacher in question is employed through the school governing body. Does this mean the Western Cape Education Department has no say on what happens in this particular incident?
We don't have the direct control over them, but obviously we are engaged with the governing body. As I said this morning, my official was there very early, so we have a clear interest in the matter. And, if we feel the governing body doesn't handle it properly, then we certainly have remedies available to us.
Do you perhaps have an idea when this meeting will end? Because it started very early this morning and they're still engaged in a meeting together with the Human Rights Commission that we saw at the school premises. Do you have an idea as to when they're going to finish? Because at the end of the day, the mother still says she has to hear from the school whether her child is able to go back to school tomorrow or not. Do you have an idea as to maybe when?
No, I don't. I mean, obviously I'm not there, so I really can't tell. I understand that one of the members who was quite key to the discussions wasn't available this morning, so I think that might be why it's going on so long this afternoon, because they had to then come and give their advice. So I really can't tell. Obviously we'll communicate as soon as we can.
All right. Thank you very much, the MEC for the Western Cape Education Department here, outlining her views on the situation, saying that they will have to await the outcomes of that investigation that has been held by the school governing body looking into this matter. And obviously that investigation will also let us know whether the teacher will be suspended, disciplined, as well as that learner involved in this incident, whether she will be suspended or disciplined in this matter.
Ati Msangana, thank you very much indeed. No doubts the moment that school governing body makes a decision, we'll hear the latest from Ati Msangana.